Today's episode is going to be very nerdy. I'm sorry for it, but Prisha wants to jazzle us up with her favorite so-called book. I forgot the name.
You forgot the name of Namesake.
Okay, namesake. Yeah.
Yes. Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri is one of my obsessions. I know many of the IT students actually out there do study this book for their O-levels course, but I read this book being a complete nerd, and yes, I am every single bit obsessed with this book. It is well written, the themes are amazing, and it teaches you so much about life.
Okay, so before you go ahead, give a summary of the book. Like, what is it? What does it talk about?
Okay. Namesake was Jhumpa Lahiri's debut novel published in 2003, and the story revolves around two people, Ashok and Ashima Ganguly, who are Bengali immigrants who struggle with their cultural identity while raising their son in America. So this basically, after their son is born, this book completely follows the life of their son. Their son is named Gogol, an extremely unique name. Even as an Indian, have you ever heard this name?
Google.
Exactly. This name is named after the Russian author Nikolai Gogol, who used to be Ashok, his father's favorite novel. And this name, as you can, suggest, completely displaces Gogol's childhood. Because being American, the name Gogol is weird. Being Indian, the name Gogol is weird. And the name Gogol, for that matter, is not even a first name. Which means that our amazing character is randomly named after his father's favorite author's last name,
Okay.
making the name Gogol a complete identity crisis for him. So what this novel does is it completely captures the experience that one immigrant goes through by using Gogol's own journey of self-discovery. So let me explain this to you. So when you actually read the book and you understand the storyline, you'll see how Gogol, as a child, loved the name Gogol. He completely accepted it. For him, he was Gogol.
Oh, but as he grew up, he hated it.
And to the extent where his parents, on the first day of kindergarten, tried to even name him Nikhil. To in general publicly name him Nikhil, which he absolutely refused to do. But then as he grew up, because you're a child, you're still young and you're still innocent. But then as you grew up, he realized how Gogol was not the right name for him because he was completely displaced. People could not say his name. Attendance sheets were like his worst fear because teachers had to call his name out and they would not know how to say it. And because of that, when Gogol finally becomes an adult, the first thing he does is legally changes his name to Nikhil.
Okay.
And what makes this story so special is I'm gonna go full English class nerd, but look at the literary aspect of this. You see how when Gogol is young, when he's just a kindergartner, for him, his name, he connects it to himself. He does not care about whether his name is Indian, whether his name is Russian, or whether it's American. He connects the name Gogol to himself. But then, you see all throughout the book that as he grows older, suddenly for him, his own identity is a lot more about the world around him. Suddenly it becomes having to define himself as either American or Indian. And with a Russian name like Gogol, a Russian last name for that matter, not being able to do either of the things.
It's like how Shabari sir told us, like the immigration stories, how one differs from the other.
Exactly. If you go back to episode 8 of Tahar Talks, which was our episode with Mr. Shabrinath Gopinath Nair, we were talking about migration. And we realized in that episode what Reena was saying.
What? The immigration stories.
Yeah, about how a name holds so much significance to an own individual's identity.
So he basically gave us this challenge also to ask names of our chechis or annas together. And, a name plays a very significant role in identifying yourself.
And identifying your own history. I am named Prisha. What's the history behind that? Where does my name come from? Why did my parents choose to name me Prisha? Or why did your parents choose to name you Reenav?
No, I don't know.
Exactly. And why did we choose to name Tahar Talks Tahar Talks?
Well,
No idea. But that is how important.
actually, it was going to be Prisha's idea ever, the Tar Talkie.
I very strongly wanted to name Tahar Talks Tahar Talkies. It's okay. We can't have everything. But then again, most names, even if not Tahar Talks, often have a very significant history behind them. And Gogol's whole dilemma with his own name is a whole dilemma on his own identity. And this takes me back to a very beautiful piece of writing I read. When you strip away one's name from them, when you assign them numbers, or when you assign them nicknames, or when you even assign them slurs instead of their own names, you're stripping away a person's identity from them. Reena, have you read about the Holocaust?
Holocaust, no.
Oh, you don't know about the Holocaust?
No.
Okay, so the Holocaust was basically, it was a whole thing started under Nazism, under
Oh,
the
that I
regime,
know. Okay.
when, Jews were concentrated and
We
killed.
saw a movie here on that also.
which movie? The Boy in Striped Pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
Great book, great movie. Something I
2 years good. 2 years good. No,
Yeah.
it was
Some-
very sad ending though.
something I would recommend the audience to read, especially if you're above the age of 13, 14. Do try giving that book a read. It's important for us to know such themes. But basically, one thing which they would do at all these concentration camps, which are, places they would keep the Jews people at, they would take away their names and they would assign them a code.
Yeah, code. Yeah.
They would reduce their identity from their name, from unique and various names, to a simple code. And that also is just one example. And that makes me think of the kind of stripping of identities which people go through and how your name is so closely connected with who you are.
But now, don't you feel when moms or dads give you a nickname? But it's like with their love they're giving you, and you still accept it.
Exactly. It really depends on the way the name is given to you. And on the topic of nicknames, you would realize how if a specific nickname is given to you by a specific person, you assign that nickname to that person. And that is a
Yeah.
whole other part of your identity too. And that is how powerful I believe names truly are.
So now, how does this book end? Like, does his perspective change, or what happens through the book?
Okay, so I'm going to start by telling you what happens through the book. So you have Gogol over here who spent his entire life hating his name absolutely. And then you have him turning into an adult and changing his name to Nikhil. And now he's an adult. Now he's moving away for college from New York City. He wants to move away to Ohio for a teaching apprenticeship. Now that is when Ashok, his father, opens up to him. Ashok tells him how Ashok growing up was absolutely immersed in books, being any good Bengali scholar.
That's how Gogol came.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, the origin of his name. Being any good Bengali scholar, he would wake up, he would read. He would walk, he would read. To the extent where I remember a very funny story from this book when Ashok is narrating the fact how he could read a book while walking downstairs. And how every time his cousins would try to imitate him, they would all fall off stairs. And him being...
I feel Prisha can do it. I actually believe Prisha can do
Pretty
it.
sure I can do it. But anyways, Ashok's cousins couldn't. They can't be. It's a skill issue. But and now Ashok, because he was so good at reading, his grandfather, who was on his deathbed, asked for Ashok to visit his town and read out books to him. And Ashok obviously complied to do so. He got on a train, he went to, on his way to his grandfather's village. On this train, he was carrying a book by Nikolai Gogol. And while Ashok was carrying this book, he was having a nice chat with the different people sitting in his, train compartment, when suddenly the train derailed. A fatal train crash took place. There was death, there was chaos, and Gogol himself was stuck under, Ashok himself was stuck under a huge train rubble and he was completely immersed in him, appearing to be almost dead. That is when he had a book in his hand. He had the book of Nikolai Gogol in his hand. And when people were, and when the rescue team was looking and they assumed everyone was dead, the only thing that saved him was rumbling the page of that book.
Wow, okay. Oh, that's
Nikolai
what-
Gogol
Okay.
saved Ashok's life.
The
The
book,
collection of short stories by Nikolai Gogol had saved his life.
that's the name of the son.
And that is the name of the son. Gogol's name was not Indian. It was not American. It was not even Russian. Gogol's name was something so innately close to his father's life.
And that's what he told his son, right?
Except that is not how the book ends. Despite all of this, it is difficult for, Gogol to get over his name. It's difficult for him to truly understand what his father is trying to tell him. And that is when he gets married. He gets married to a daughter of one of his family friends, someone he knew when they were younger, someone, someone who he dated for a bit. Except that, when he gets married, soon, his wife ends up cheating on him and he has to break up with her and they get divorced. And, this completely disrupts the way Gogol's daily life works. He completely returns back home. He helps his mother out with things. He's, realized the way life works out for him. Except that what happens in all of this is, before we have Gogol return back to home, Ashok passes away. Ashok passes away early when he was away from his family. Ashok was a Boston professor, but he was living away from his family on a small work trip. And he passes away because of a massive heart attack.
I know. I think Nikhil changed his name to Gogol again, as a memory of his father.
Well, unfortunately, no. But what Nikhil did go through, or Gogol did go through, is he went and picked up his father's body on his own. He went up and cleaned up his father's apartment on his own. He completely, he had to cremate his father on his own. And that is when he truly wondered, who is my father? Now, Gobal is back with his mother Ashima. He's back in Ashima's house and he's helping her pack up everything. And that is when he finds something gifted to him by his father. He finds a book, the collection of short stories by Nikolai Gogol, which Ashok had gifted him on his 14th birthday.
And, oh, damn.
And that is when he is truly able to find comfort and is truly able to accept his new life alone. And that is when Gogol finally reads the stories written by his namesake, Gogol, on the train home when he's going back home. And this is what this book truly stands for. I believe that particular moment when Gogol has cleaned up his mother's house and he found this book and he's, on a train, he's going back home, and him reading Namesake then is just a circle of life moment. His namesake, Gobal's book, was being read by his father on a train all the way from Kolkata so many years ago when he was going to his grandfather's house. And now, to so many years, Nikhil, Gobal, being able to read this book by his namesake while going back home and accepting life for what it is truly, truly what I believe this book is all about. And this is something we were discussing in my English class this morning, and that is the third generational immigrant trauma which many people face.
Okay.
So, Reenam, let me ask you, do you ever want to go out of India?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to settle there?
No.
Okay, well, I want to. So, if I were to, maybe 10 years from now be in the Americas, completely settled over there, I would also obviously have a family there. My children would be third generational immigrants who have parents who are Indian but are born in not India and are not by any means technically Indian. Gogol was a third generational immigrant too. And that really makes you think about the way his culture is. Because he will never truly be American, but he will never be truly Indian. He will be too Indian for the Americans and too American for the Indians. And this, I believe, is something so many immigrants go through.
So imagine Prisha names her son Gogol.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not intellectual enough to ever have read a lot of Nikolai Gogol. But imagine the kind of themes this book explores. A longing for a home you never knew. Because America's not home, but India's not home either. Such a identity crisis and self-discovery. I believe that this book, especially when read in your, late teenage years, I read for the first time when I was 14. And reading a book like this really, really makes you think about the kind of longing and the kind of, themes and the kind of emotions one truly feels. And I believe that if you ever decide to read this book, or if our audience ever decides to read this book,
Probably see the movie.
the movie, this book does bring about a lot of change in perspective. And again, as Reenam mentioned the movie, if you don't want to read the book, go ahead and please watch the movie. The movie has some of the most, I know, Reena, this will be a selling point for you. The movie has some of the most iconic actors ever, all the way going from Irfan Khan to Tabu. Imagine those two actors together in a movie, playing both Ashok and Ashima simultaneously. This is one of the best directed, best curated movies to ever watch. So I hope I've not nodded everyone out enough for today. Even though I had a lot of fun talking about this.
I didn't get nerded out. I don't think so. The audience would.
Yeah, if Reenam did not get nerded out, I don't think anyone can get nerded out. So that was Namesake on to Heart Talks. I hope all of you either read the book or watch the movie or simply go to a Wikipedia page and read up the plot. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us today and we hope to see you next episode too.